So, welcome. This is my Schooly tutorial. So, I've seen a lot of people asking me for stuff, so I decided to make one because why not? So, what you're gonna do to start is first you're gonna need to gather some sort of clip. So, for example, I'm gonna use this Buffalo Sabres clip. So, what you wanna do? So, once you gather your clip, you wanna pick a song that is extracted so I don't get copyrighted. So I'll use this one. And then what you're gonna wanna do is for your clip. So to start, you wanna make your aspect ratio. So go to aspect ratio. Now most people say you're supposed to do this one, but you to get a blur, you wanna do this one, get that size. And then on your thing, this is only on some of them, but you see that there's this little black area. Go to crop and then press this one. Press the check mark, and then you're going to want to go to background, select blur, and then do the first one. And then basically after that, so once you have thing, we'll make sure it says this one's like a low one, then I'm going to do it like that. And then on your audio, if you're extracting it, get rid of the part that the song hasn't started yet, and then move the song. And then for text, there's two main texts that people use, and I'm going to show you how to get both of them. There's this one, American Captain, and there's this one, Lemon Milk. I'm going to show you how to get both of them. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to either Google or whatever one you see. Use Safari, Chrome, whichever one. And then what you're going to do is you're going to search up Da Font. And then this website right here, press on it. Then what you're gonna want to do, there's a small little area right here. This is where you're gonna put it in. I'm only gonna show you how to get one, and I'm gonna do American Captain. So once you search that up, over here there's download. You're gonna press that. You're gonna download it, open it. Then you're gonna want to save to files. And then once you do that, you're gonna want to go over to CapCut. You're gonna go to your fonts, press my font, press add, press my font, then on your files, you'll see somewhere, go to downloads, put iCloud Drive, and then you'll see this American Captain. And then you're gonna press either one of these, either one's fine, open it. And then for me, the font already exists. And then there's another one called Lemon Milk. And then you can use either I did American. And then for your watermark, you're going to use Bit Crusher. Same thing, download, open, save the files. Go to CapCut, add text, add my font. Out of there, go to iCloud Drive. And actually, now you press downloads, go to here. And somewhere here, I'm pretty sure I have it. Right here, the Bit Crusher. Then it's this one, open it up. I already have it, that's a font. And then there's obviously way more. But I'm going to use American Captain for this video and Bit Crusher for this. So what you're going to do is for your thing, you're going to want to, for your watermark, you're going to want to put an @ and then I'm going to put Sanheim Prods as an example. But obviously, whatever your name is, Lee, or whichever one, for the sake of this video, I'm putting Sanheim Prods. And then once you're done that, go to Styles, press the first one, and then put the opacity down. Now, whichever one you do is fine. Personally, I think around 45% is a pretty good one. Then you're not going to want to put it down here. That's a no. You're going to want to put it around here, or wherever your text stops. Extend that to when the video is going to end. So, just there. For your audio, for timing, what you're going to want to do is you're going to press beats, and you're going to auto-generate the beats. Keep them at intense. For this one, I'm going to cut it here because it's a very long intro. For your intro, for the sake of getting like a good viewer to staying ratio, you're going to want to put it as where like the start of it or the intro isn't that long. And then I have this, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the font to American Captain. Now, personally, I'd like this one. For your stroke, I used to do it way too much. You don't want to do a lot. This is good. And then I'll do, for example, tutorial. And you're going to want to center align it. And then and then for the bottom one, because you're most likely going to have a bottom one, you're going to make the bottom one, go to edit style. You're going to make that whichever the team's color is. You see how much that looks better? And then make this bigger. And for this one, I'm actually going to do, and then you want to cut it right where it stops. And then you go here, you put it all the way there, and then you'll add another one and keep on going. Everything is center aligned. Now for your logos, I'm going to add this one. Never mind, that's taking too long. I'm going to add this clip right here, this Jack Hughes clip. And then obviously so you want to main track it. Make sure to keep everything center aligned for the text and stuff. And then for this, you're going to want to obviously crop it. 9:16, do that. And then you want to stretch it out so it's covering the whole thing and there's only these little 2 bits left. For the transition, you want to do shake 2. You want to do it for 0.8. And then for this, I'm going to do 1, Toronto Maple Leafs, Senators. And then if you're putting a team logo, which you most likely are, which for the player or whatever, so you're going to want to go down here. You're going to want to go to overlay, add the overlay, go to your photos, and I would recommend for this all, putting them into groups like your clips, your logos, all that stuff. And then you're going to want to make it small. I'd suggest if you go to transform, go to advanced, zoom, I'd suggest about 27 and then put it right here so it's not covering the text. And then obviously, if there's something like that, the pause mark for when you're recording the clip, for screen recording it, you're going to want to get rid of that as well. I forgot that. And then some people have, for example, I do have one of these. If I go to my recent, I do have, in fact, a watermark. Now, you may be asking, oh, this looks way cooler, Sanheim. Why aren't you using this one? Well, it's because this takes up too much space, and recently everyone's been using this one. It just looks way better. It takes up way less space, so you have more area to edit. And then as it goes on, you're going to want to add more and more. And then once you reach an ending point, then you're going to want to end it all. Something I want to give you a tip for timing. If you zoom in all the way, you can actually get to all the frames. And then if I go to here, you'll see there's this little area that hasn't been used yet. And see, I get an extra, and now it's dead. Here, I'll show you. Now you'll see it's better timing instead of what it was before. And you want to do that for the text as well. You see there's this big gap. Put it here instead. It's just a tip that I've been doing recently, and it really helps. Now, if you want to do a text animation for your start, I'd recommend going to animation, doing zoom, and then doing it for however long you want. Or I'm going to do it for this video.
She told me that I'm your fella. I said that
obviously, once it goes on, you would continue more and more and do the same stuff. Now, if you have, I've seen someone doing this that I'm doing this for, they have my best edit yet, and then they have a background. If you want to do that, that's perfectly fine. Make sure to center align it, put it up here, and then don't do it for the whole video. Only do it for a couple of seconds to get people interested. I would not recommend doing that, so get rid of that. And then done all of this, then you're good to go. And then obviously, as it gets more extreme and it gets deeper, there's obviously other stuff you want to do for a format. Now, what I would do is, mine isn't good. I would recommend a dotted one. But if you go down here, you'll see I have this line. For formats, you're always going to use white lines. And if on your thing, for example, you see I have this big background, what you're going to do, if it's a one color thing, then you can just chroma key it easily. But if you can't, then you go to Google, get out of that font, go to Google, search up BG, go to this one, and then upload your image. I'm going to use this line, upload your image, and then once you're done that, download it, and then you can go back to CapCut and then put that in. Or you can just chroma key it if it's one color. You'll put different lines. A format that I used once in my video was I had like a couple of lines here, and then I had a line on the side. You can do that whichever format you're doing, use lines. And then obviously, once it goes on, keep this, and it'll get more detailed. For example, I'll do player instead of auto. I'll do Brady, Chuck, and then it'll be like, for example, this probably isn't his actual stats, 34 goals and 47 assists or whatever. And then you'll add those up and do, let's see, this is a random, I think this is 81 points. And you will also want to do his games played. So I know this one, 86 games. And then you do JP. In between all of the commas, you don't have to. You can do a space. Obviously, it's not needed, but it will look a little bit nicer. And now I can move this. And then, yeah, see? That's pretty good. Now, here, I have too much stroke. If you go to the stroke, this is the most important. You can't do too much of it. You honestly can't do too much. If you do too much, the video, it won't look good, and it'll ruin the whole thing. I used to do this much, and it ruined it. You have to do 5% stroke or whatever if you want. Oh, no, that's a little bit too less. Do 10% stroke. Do 10%, and then that'll look good.
She told me that I'm like a fat.
And this will get you subs. People will watch this. And then do not do captions. For your quality, there's not a lot. You can do filters, you can do clear. Obviously, a lot of people use clear, and then there's clear too, but don't do that. It's also this one, there's bagels. That's not a good one. I would recommend clear or crystal clear. Crystal clear actually doesn't look that bad. Hold on. But see, for this one, I'm not going to use any because I actually like it. But if you want, for your adjust, you put your brightness up by 5. You can change your contrast. I recommend not. Put your brilliance up by 5. Fully sharpen it. Don't put any clarity. For your shadows, don't do the shadows at all, as you can see. And just don't do anything else, because the rest of it doesn't do it well. Obviously, there's presets, but you don't want to do that. And then I have this adjust one, and then I can add filters and whatever. You never use the templates. For effects, you can use effects. I would not recommend. Don't use effects for Schooly. Use it for if you're doing an edit, but that's another time. And then once you're done, you can export it. And then once it's done exporting, what you're gonna want to do after that is you're gonna press done, go to your YouTube studio, make sure you have that downloaded for just creating, press this button, and then do this, and then put it public. Don't put it freaking, you can add a collaborator or whatever you want, and then I'm not gonna post this, but, and then that's basically it. So hope this helps, and I'll do more in the future if anyone has any questions. Goodbye.